Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are back for another round of Training Thursday. And this week I'm really diving deep with you guys a bit more into feeling disillusioned because I've seen it everywhere. There is with the uncertainty that we have around, a feeling of being disillusioned with our dreams that we had in the past, a feeling of being disillusioned with even the processes that we've used before to set goals and other things. And there's a feeling of disillusionment with all the things that we had intended on changing, because that's the world we live in right now, right? So I wanted to dive a bit more into this kind of collective vibe of feeling disillusioned. And I wanted to share with you some of the tips and tricks that we've used from a mindset perspective, whether it is the NLP practices that I use as a coach, whether it's the positive psychology shifts and changes that I've used on retreats, whether it is things that I've used with mentees before in the past that I know that are going to be helpful for this period of time where there's just this collective blur that's happening. I wanted to share with you what I know to be true for shifting and changing the way that we perceive things and the way that we believe in things so that we can create a different future for ourselves. So if you're watching, make sure you comment in the comment section. I really enjoy kind of interactive trainings. I'm not really keen on just the, sneaky kind of people in the background. If you're watching this on the replay, I'd love to hear what you have to say as well. So, collective disillusionment, how do we do it when all that we're hearing and seeing and is being in our echo chamber, especially if you spend some time online? How do we continue to go on with what we're doing when all we're hearing is shifts and changes and not quite sure and rules and all the other things that come in? It can really get you down, right? It can really get you start to think that that's the only way of doing things. So I've got 7 tips to be able to help you from going from really stuck and unmotivated and blah to actually shifting and changing and taking action. All right, are you ready? Number 1, take a break and find something you enjoy. Now, in my first book, Freedom from Fatigue, which I wrote whilst I was in the midst of adrenal fatigue, seeing 45 clients a week. It was the thing, it was the game changer of remembering who I was by finding things that I enjoyed. Now, I know that many practitioners in particular really love their work. You know, it's been the be all and end all of what you've done for the past few years. And if you're a student, then that's the thing you've been doing the past few years. And through the process of doing this, often we don't realize that between home and work or home and business, there isn't anything in between. And Ariana Huffington, in her book Thrive of Huffington Post, and of Thrive Global at the moment, she talks about having a third space. So, what is your third space? What's something that you enjoy doing or you enjoyed doing in the past? Because if you've lost touch with that feeling of joy, your whole nervous system and your whole vibe will change who you're attracting and what you're attracting if you're not in the space of joy, if you're not in the space of energy or excitedness. Then just like a resonance, just like a tuning fork, you're not going to be resonating with the same frequency of the things that you want until you feel the feeling of joy. So, what do you enjoy? What did you love doing when you were a kid? What did you always want to try as a kid, but now you can as an adult? And what's something that floats your boat? I've seen plenty of people here. I know Belinda in the hub really enjoys her roller skates, and that was one of the things getting me out of the burnout feeling and disillusionment feeling was to actually try something different. So I tried roller skating and was in roller derby for a bit. I know that many of you guys have gotten into art, and there's some other really cool, different hobbies. I know some of you are like, hobbies, what are they? But if these past 2 years have taught us anything, it's trying to find the things and the moments and the small things that you enjoy is one of the game changers for life. So, when it comes to finding something you enjoy and finding an hour to do it a day, That's one. Now, the first time I did that, it took me nearly a month to find the thing I enjoyed. I went through all of the reasons why I couldn't do it, all of the excuses why it wouldn't work. And I finally got around to paying the $5 to try on a pair of skates to rent for the day and try out some roller skates. So whatever it is for you, figure out what it is you'd like to try. Try three things on a list, because then you make the phone call for the first one, or you book the appointment for the second one, and one of them will stick. So give it a go. Number one, find something you enjoy. Remind yourself about how joy feels in your body, because as soon as you embody those feelings, something resonates with other people. Number two is Ho'oponopono. It's the forgiveness prayer, Hawaiian forgiveness prayer, and it gives us a structure to connect with the things that we haven't come to terms with in the past in particular. And when you're doing work around your mindset, often it's past, present, and future, and how you'd like to kind of come to terms with the things in the past. I know disillusionment can sometimes come from a fierce anger, a fierce disappointment. And whether that is with external situations, whether it is with organizations, whether it is with a particular person, that vibe is going to attract a very different vibe. So when we can come to terms with those jiggles, the things that give us that charge, and we can start to recognize and use Ho'oponopono, which is, I forgive you, I am sorry, I thank you, and I love you. These are the types of processes that help us start to recognize that a situation, an organization, or a person had a reason for being in your life. There was a hidden gift and a hidden lesson for that particular situation to arise, because you wouldn't be who you are today without it. So coming to terms with those kinds of situations is a really great opportunity to really dive deeper into your past so that you can get towards your present. Number three, in your present, when you feel disillusioned, how does it feel if you were in a completely cluttered, you open the fridge and there's just like moldy food coming through, you open your cupboard or your closet and there's all these old clothes that don't fit you, or you look at your desk and there's zero space. How does that feel when you feel disillusioned? Ugh. So a lot like what we teach our clients, one of the best things to do is to declutter, to get all of the rubbish food out of the fridge, to get all the rubbish food out of the pantry, to weed the garden per se. We often talk about it when we talk about gastrointestinal issues. We weed, then we seed, and then we feed. Similar situation happens with your mindset and your physical environment. How can you weed your environment out from all the things that are making you feel disillusioned? How can we get rid of all of those things? How can you weed out your inbox? How can you weed out the places and spaces in your business that aren't making you feel 100%? How can you weed out your friendship circle? How can you weed out the conversations that you're having so that they are the ones that are actually reverberating back to you the inspiration instead of the perspiration? All right, so declutter, number three. Number four, so weed, seed, feed kind of scenario. Then how can you flood in the good stuff? How can you create a vision board so that you're seeing it every day? I'll show you my vision board actually while you're here. Oh, I just moved my table and my desk, but I created a vision board and it literally sits in front of me. It's where my mouse sits. It's where my other bits and pieces sit. And I am looking at it right now and all the time. How can you create and flood your system with this stuff rather than things that you might have been flooding your system with to make you feel disillusioned? Maybe it's your news feed. How can you declutter that? How can you unblock it? Change up your cookies so that your search feed isn't responding and sending you the same information all the time. How can you change up your environment? Pull in some plants, do that kind of stuff. How can you change up the people that you're hanging around? And that's the next step as well. How can you flood in the places, spaces, and people that are going to affect the way that you feel and effect the way that you feel, but affect the actions that you take from that. How can you change that up? What does that look like? So that is number 5. Upgrade your friends. One of the things that need an upgrade first, back into the other one. Sometimes, I've spoken to mentees before about upgrading their undies. It can be those small little things that just a niggling, pain every single day that are creating this feeling of disillusionment. And through that feeling of disillusionment, other things start to get triggered all the time. Is it your undies? Is it the jeans that you don't want to wear, but you have to wear all the time because you haven't been bothered changing them up? Is it the head of your toothbrush? Is it changing up your tea bag? Is it changing up your whole bath bomb situation, which I've talked about at length before, just in case you haven't been in the bath bomb conversation before? What is the things that are niggling in the background that when all those small things add up, create a system that is already jiggled so that if a cancellation comes up in your diary, or an email comes up that somebody wants their money back, or some other thing, and the whole thing explodes. That's the system that we're living in at the moment because we're letting all these small things build up. So what are some of the upgrades that you could make so that this whole system can get looked after? One of those upgrades can be your friendship circle. And especially if you haven't got any business besties, people who you can talk to about the ins and outs of the day-to-day life of being an entrepreneur, how can you start to network and spend time and money in groups that allow you to be able to share and speak your truth about the really hard stuff and celebrate the most awesome stuff, and people can feel excited about it too without that whole tall poppy syndrome stuff happening? One of the ways that many of you guys might not know about is masterminds, and my mastermind is just opened. And I'm actually running a group program for the first time in 18 months. And the extra training for that for the Entrepreneur Library you can find on my website. So you can be part of a group of people who are in a growth mindset, who are changing the way that they're thinking, which means that they're changing the way that they're doing things, which means they're changing the results that they're having. And we have a very different conversation in there. So how can you upgrade your friendship circles? How can you, I think it was Jim Collinson from Good to Great and Richard Branson, who said that you are the sum total, or you can pick your future based on the 5 people you spend your most time with. And where are the 5 influences in your life that you're spending the most time with? Where's their money mindset? Where's their growth mindset? What's the types of conversations that you're consistently having on a daily basis that put you in a position to find solutions to problems rather than more problems? All right, I think we're nearly there. Oh, this is a good one. The can versus can't. What is it that you can do instead of identifying all the things you can't do? This has been a perler at the moment in our profession. It's really easy to identify the shit stuff, people. It's so easy. Like, you can smell dog poo in a room a mile away and everyone can point out the dog poo. But if there's fresh flowers in one corner, it'll take so much more effort if a dog poo is in the room, right? So it's really easy to point out the things that are crap about a situation. It takes a little bit more effort, but your entire world and the way you perceive the world shifts if you can focus on the things that you can do, the positive stuff. So, for instance, I can quite quickly identify all the things that I can't do at the moment. Oh, well, all the things that I can't do around travel, because, retreats has always been my thing. And I can't easily get on flights. I can't easily shift and change my travel plans. I can't confidently do the things that I was doing in the past. I can't, even though we had 50 people come to Bali last time, I can't logistically get the travel insurance, blah, blah, blah. Like, all the can'ts. What are the things I can do? Well, I can share my knowledge with you guys right now. Similar knowledge that we have had in experiences on retreats before, for people who have up-leveled their lives before. I can share it, and I actually can share it for free in a way that no one even has to travel. I can create the unrestricted retreat, which is an amazing online retreat that we all get together wherever you happen to be and do that. I can look after exponentially more people. If I'm limited to only 50 people at a retreat, imagine how many people I can help online. So I can do that. I can use systems that I've used before, like Facebook or YouTube. I can explore new systems like podcasting or other things. I can talk to my VA about producing more amazing worksheets and content. And I can work with my current clients one-on-one. And we are absolutely blessed with the technology that we have. Can you see there's a difference in noticing the things that you can do? Because in the process of noticing the things you can do, you're going to shift and change. In NLP, this is called deletion and distortion. What happens is your brain, let's do a little process. If I ask you right now to look around your room, and I want you to identify how many things in your room are green. Are you ready? Go. Alrighty, how many green things did you get? Yeah, are you sure? Okay, cool. And now I'm going to ask you, how many pink things were in your room without looking at them? See what happens there? Your brain was so busy focusing on the things that can't be done. Green, 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 green. You couldn't see the things that could be done, the pink things. And this happens all the time. Our brains do that. It saves energy. It saves the way that our reticular activating system works so that we don't have to worry about all of these other things. We delete and distort the things that we always and already perceive. Your brain is currently doing that for the problems that you see in your business. Problem, 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 problem. Problem, problem, more problems. But when we start to focus on the solution and we're surrounded by people who are giving us a growth mindset, we're surrounded by reminders that make us feel good, our nervous system is nourished and yummy, then we have an ability to be able to believe and perceive something different because it's already there, but we just hadn't been paying attention. All right. So that brings us to the final one. What inspired action could you take? Because it's all good and well thinking, oh, this isn't working, or that's a very nice idea. Gee, that's interesting, Tammy. But it's a whole other thing to actually take an action on it. So, what out of all those 7 could you actually do something about? Could you send an email? Could you sign up to a course? Could you enroll a friend in the idea that you could be accountable to one another? That you could make a phone call, that you could use that thing you already have on your computer and sell it, whether it's a program or a course or a training, or that you could change up your environment so that you make yourself feel good and shift the way in which you are perceiving the world. What are the things that you could do? All right. Last of all, there are 3 ways that you can work with me this year, especially over the next month. I just released an amazing opportunity that I haven't released before. So it's the Naturpreneur Library. That's the first way. The Naturpreneur Library is absolutely every course I have ever created for practitioners, whether it is creating your own e-course, digitizing your practice, getting your practice virtual and online. It's the Naturpreneur journey. People have made, tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars a month since doing that program. Naturpreneur 101. It is 88 different presentations from the past 3 years of Naturpreneur Experience, the conference, from all of these different amazing speakers and facilitators. And it's all rolled into one. And for the first time ever, because it freaks me out that people just get given a library and they don't do anything with it, I'm actually going to be taking people step by step, whoever signs up for it, for 6 weeks. We're going to actually do one of the programs together in our own space with exactly what you need, all your questions answered, so that you can take your business idea or what you're pivoting on or shifting and changing to an online or a program or an e-course. You can take it from woe to go of exactly how you need to do that whether it is from a mindset perspective, a money perspective, a marketing perspective, a messaging perspective, or how do you take it to that next level of Maverick? So how all of that occurs happens over a 6-week period, and then you still get all of the library to dive into as much as you CPE want for the rest of the year. That's first way of working with me. Second way of working with me this year is my mastermind. It's actually called Maverick. It's for people who have been in business for a while, have a system or a program or a package or a project that they want to work on, and we work on it for 4 months together. It's all online. It doesn't matter where you are, you can join in. And we have live coaching calls, we have group calls, and we have a theme with trainings every month. At the end of that, if you do want to come to the Hunter Valley for a luxury retreat, there is an option for that as well. There's 10 spots on there. And then the third way to work with me is I take a very select few people one-on-one every 3 months, so for every quarter. I'm full at the moment, but in quarter 2, there is an opportunity to do that too. So if you want to be part of that, you can check out tammyguest.com or send an email to my team at hello@tammyguest.com. And I would gladly talk to you about what your next steps might be, what you want to create, and what might be useful for you. All right, I will catch you in the next Training Thursday, and good luck between now and then. May the odds be ever in your favor in the world that we live in right now. And I will catch you then. See ya.